Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So this is the first video of our MERN card project where I'm gonna introduce you how to work with Redux Toolkit in depth, how you can work with really complex functionality. Before we jump into our main code, which is the React Redux part, I'm gonna work with our MongoDB Nodejs a little bit, because you need to understand the backend first so that you can implement it in your front-end application. So backend is also very important, and I also highly suggest you to really focus on your backend because this is the main root and the main data of our application stands. Okay, we're gonna open it with VS Code editor, and here as you can see I need to make some folder. First folder is for the backend. Okay, we're gonna call it backend, and we'll have one more folder called client where I'm going to work with the React Redux and all the awesome thing. So before that we must have to create a backend. Okay, so in the backend let me go and run our terminal, new terminal, and as you can see we're currently on our web development framework MERN card project. Okay, so we need to go back into our backend folder, cd backend, and it will redirect you to the backend folder. Okay, if you really want to make a REST API with the Nodejs and Express, this is a very good video for you, but you need to have a little bit experience about JavaScript, just a little bit. It will really help you a lot. I have a lot of video suggestion for you in my channel that contains the Node.js as well with the React.js as well. So in the backend we have to call for Node.js application. You need to write npm package. Make sure you have the npm package installed, npm init. Okay, this will initialize a Node.js application for you, and package name is backend. Okay, there is no need to use description. So in the entry point we have to write server.js. So this is our entry point, so you don't need to write test, no need to have a git repository. This is MERN project. Okay, keyword author is me, and this is the default license. Okay, so it is created. So if we just go into the backend, as you can see we have a package.json. As you can see, these are the keyword that I typed there. Okay, so before that we need to install some packages so that we can work with our MongoDB and our JSON object and .env file, because we need to create an env file as well, and nodemon to run our server even when we change some code. Okay, so those libraries are very important. First one is very important, which is Express. So this is the library we're going to use, or this is the framework we're going to use to make our REST API. So Express, then Mongoose to help our data modeling with MongoDB. So it really helps you to fetch data, add data using the data model relationship, because ORM actually, object relational mapper, it really helps you to do this kind of work. So Mongoose is very important. Then we need body, parser, and we need course. In case we need it, in course is very important. Origin resource, this is very important, and most of the framework, because this is a backend, you need to get the data into the front-end application. So course really help you to identify which domain or hosting is getting your data. Okay, which software or which client application needs your data. So course is very important. Then we need .env package if we want to work with any environment variable, and nodemon to run our server properly. So these are the basically main important thing that is needed. One is Express, Mongoose, body parser, course.env, and nodemon. Okay, so let's run our server. It will take some time to run it, and once it runs you're gonna understand everything properly. Okay, so we are ready to go and rock and roll. So if I just go into the package.json, this file is very important. Okay, so first make sure you add here type. Okay, type, there is two type. We have CommonJS, which is a very old version. We need to use require if you want to import any package, but I'm going to use module, type module, so that we can work with the import. This is a modern way to import some packages or libraries in your application. Okay, so this is the first change. Then in the script you need to run one more thing, which is, as you can see, it is suggesting me that write start and node, and I just click on tab. As you can see, nodemon server.js. So instead of nodemon, I'm going to use node server.js. This is our main file. So we need to create our server.js here. This is very important. Server.js, this is our main server. Okay, main server. And when you run npm start, it will run our server.js file. Okay, and one more thing, which is for developer purpose. for developer purpose, we're gonna use NodeMon. Okay, so that's why I have to install this NodeMon package, and I already have this, as you can see. So it suggests me, because I have a package installed called tab9, it will suggest you some code. Just search, as you can see, it is very powerful and it has a huge amount of download. Okay, tab9, it suggests you some code. Okay, and I have also installed a lot of packages regarding auto close tag and .env. Those are the thing is very important, IntelliJ code, and lots of things. Okay, so you need to understand a lot, and also you need to install React.js code snippet, React code snippet, and React.js new code snippet, all of the thing. Okay, so these are all very important if you want to really work properly. Okay, so this will help you a lot in and save a lot of time in your production level code. Okay, so this script is successfully so this script work is done. In the start, if you write npm start, it will run our main node server.js, but if you run npm run dev, it will run nodemon server.js file. Okay, so those are the two different things, but it will do the same thing, server.js. So in the server.js, I have to do some code here. Okay, so that I can test if the code is working or not. Okay, so first we need to write const express. As you can see, it is suggesting me, but still I'm writing that because you need to understand it properly. So if you write require, this also work because you need to have express server, so it also work, but I need to use different way. Import express, this is the latest way. Import express from express. Okay, import express from express. So how it is working here, if you go to the package.json, as you can see, I have to write type is equals to module. If you write type is equals to common.js, then you have to write that way. Okay, so make sure you save that and go to server.js, import express from express. Okay, so const app is equals to express, just call it, it will work really well. And here you can write app.get any route. As you can see, it's suggesting me, which is also great. And I can add a function here, and here you need to write response.send. Hello guys, welcome to my MERN project. Nice. When you just go to / this is the root directory, it will give us this response, okay, into the front end. So this is very important to understand. The request and response is very important. Response is, this is backend code. Okay, so from the backend to front end, we are sending response.send. So response is sending some data to the front end, so backend to front end. So this is the thing, the response work, and response has a lot of things you can do. Response has some response dot status code. You have a lot of things you can just send to your front end. It's completely up to you. Then we have a port that we need to listen. process.env.port or 5000. The Nodejs inbuilt port, just run it on your production or run it at 5000. This is the port that your server will be running. Okay, then you need to listen to the port. Listen to the port, and here you're gonna write a simple code here. Console.log server running on port, this port. Okay, so this is the after your application listens to this port, and after that this is the callback function that will work after your application is running at the port, and it will say server is running on port, this port number. It can be 5000 already, but I think it should be mostly for 5000. Okay, and I think this is the simple setup for application. npm run dev, it will start node. As you can see, very simple, just simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 line of code. You are creating an awesome server in Express.js. How simple it is. That's why people love Express.js, and we like to create an application in Express. It is really, really powerful. We just need to just identify which port we want to write, if there is any port, or run it 5000 and listen to this port, and server will be running. And just go to this URL, and if you go to this URL, you'll see this message as a response to the client. Very simple, just import express. Go to our localhost 5000. If we go to 5000, you'll have a response, hello guys, welcome to the MERN project. So this is the response that you are getting. Very simple. We pass any ID here for a dynamic route. You can also say that request.params.id, and also you can console.log this request.params.id, and you will see that okay in the console. So if we just pass ID1, as you can see, it will give us our responses, and as you can see, this is our ID. This is the ID that we pass. You can pass any name here, and also you can get it equal to params.name. You can get that particular name that you passed in the URL, and here I'm going to pass a name called ADIP, and as you can see, it gives us response. As you can see, this is the response that we are getting dynamically. This is a very simple way to get dynamic content here. Okay, so very simple stuff, and that thing is from our request.params. Request actually handles all the client-side code. So this URL /name Adib is coming from our client URL, and I'm sending it to our backend, which is we are holding all of this using the request. So request is actually sending from client to backend, and response is actually sending data from backend to client. That's why we are seeing this data. So they are both connected. So this is a very important code to understand. In the backend, we need to make our models, and we need to create models for our product models.js. Awesome. And we need to create one more folder for our routes. Okay, here I'm gonna call it product routes.js because I'm showing you the best practice. We need to create one route folder, one model folder, and one controller folder. Controllers, and here we're going to create a product controller.js. Awesome. So we have three controller. Here all the functionality would be there: route for routing and model for create our models. So before that, we need to connect our application to our MongoDB server. Okay, so for that, we need to create a new folder again inside the backend. Okay, inside the backend, we need to create a new folder. I'm going to call it db, and here inside we need to create a file db.js. Okay, here we need to import our mongoose from mongoose. Here we need to write db is equals to async, because this is a very asynchronous functionality, because all the database related work is asynchronous. You need to understand that. As you can see, it gives us all the code, but still I'm not gonna do it because I want to show you the real code here. Okay, so here you need to write try and catch, and here you need to write some logic here. So here we need to have an URL. So to get that URL, you need to go to MongoDB Atlas. So MongoDB Atlas. Search MongoDB Atlas. As you can see, this will help you a lot. And also you need to have a you also need MongoDB Compass. This is the application that really helps to connect your MongoDB URL to your MongoDB client. So this is the software that helps you to connect with any MongoDB URL so that we can work with it. Okay, so let me just remove it, and here I need to sign up for MongoDB Atlas, or sign up with Google, or sign in. I already have an account, so I'm signing in. So make sure you have an authenticate with Google or GitHub, whichever you prefer. You just log into your account using the Google, and this really help you to use your database as this works as an online database. MongoDB Atlas is actually online. This is not your local host database that we used to use, but very simple stuff. So I already worked with the newspaper application. So we need to create a new project here. We can create a new project here. Just find new project and just write it here. And as you can see, it says create a project. You're gonna give a simple project name, and this is MERN card project. Okay, very simple. Just click on next. It says current IP address not added. You will not be able to connect to database from this address. You just need to click add current IP address. Okay, it is added to our network access. You can go to a network access point to just change it and add a new database user. You can create a new database user. Currently now we are selected the MERN card project that I recently created. Now if we go to the database, and it will say just build the database for us. Okay, so make sure you select the AWS because this is the preferable solution, and region, and you can select any region whichever you like. Okay, so I think Mumbai is the closest one, and you can this is the closest region that we have, and you can change this number. You cannot change the name once the cluster is created, so you be careful with the naming convention. Okay, so MERN card project. Okay, so this is our name, and just create. Okay, make sure you choose the free version. This is very important, and then everything is same. Without this you cannot work, but if you choose the $0.08 per hour, you get 10 GB of storage, 2 GB of RAM, and 2 CPUs. But on the free you will get only 512 MB storage, and it is shared, and CPU is also shared. So this would not be very good for production level application, but for learning purpose this is really well. So create this one. Okay, now you can add any username or password. I'm gonna use test user, and password is test, and password is test1234. Simple. Create my where you like to connect from, cloud environment or local environment. I like to use my local environment. You can modify it anytime, and add my current IP address. Make sure you add this, otherwise you won't be able to use this application in your current path. So let me finish it. Okay, so you can now go to your database. It is set up. MongoDB Atlas is a very simple and very easy stuff. You need to just click on connect. Okay, now it says connect with MongoDB shell. Connect your application. MongoDB is in MongoDB Compass. You can connect it with MongoDB Compass as you can see from this application, and I'm just clicking on MongoDB application. Connect your application. Okay, you just need to copy this, and make sure this your driver is Nodejs and version 4 or later. This is the simple thing that you can do. So I'm connecting it. So here in MongoDB Compass, I'm just pasting a URL here, and our username is test. Okay, and our password is test1234. Okay, this is our password. Okay, just we need to copy this URL. This is very important. You can change the password later if you want. Okay, in the authentication you can change the password later, but for simplicity of users, I'm just using it. After this project is completed, I'm gonna remove this from here. So make sure you create your own. Okay, so save and connect. Nice, it is connected. It gives you all the thing, as you can see, admin and local. So I think this is connected properly without any issues. So now this is the URL that we need to paste here. So here what you need to do, const connection is equals to await mongoose dot connection, mongoose dot connect, and here you need to write process dot env dot mongo URI. Okay, so this is the way you can connect your application. And here you're gonna write console.log MongoDB connection success with, here you need to write connection.host. Okay, so it's after it is connected, it will say MongoDB connection success. Else you need to write console.error, and you need to pass error, and here you need to pass console.error, error.message. In error object you will have a message if you have any error. Okay, then process.exit, and exit is equals to 1. Okay, so if there is any problem, so it is connected. Okay, so we need to create an environment file so that we can work with it. So in the backend root directory we need to .env, and here I need to write MongoDB URI is equals to URI. I just need to pass this. Okay, this is my username and password, and this is the link to connect your MongoDB with your Node.js application. So okay, so now you just need to go to db.js, and here in this function db, this is the Mongo URI that you need. Okay, so let me copy this because I don't need to have any error. I don't want any error in my application. This is our Mongo URI. Okay, so we need to run your server again, and let me check if it is working or not. Here we need to import .env from .env. Okay, and we also need to call it. Okay, .env .config. Okay, so if you write .env.config, it should work. You need to export this db function. Okay, so export default db. Okay, so if we don't export it using this, we cannot do any work. So in server.js, we need to export it and use it. Okay, so db. Okay, so db.js, make sure you add db/db is the folder and db.js is the file. .js is very important because we are using ES6 module system, import db from db. Okay, so we just call this function here. Okay, so this function is coming from this db.js. So this is the function. This will make sure that your Mongoose is connected to the MongoDB URI, and now your application is connected with the MongoDB. Okay, so this is the setup that you need to do. Okay, MongoDB connection success. As you can see, this is the host name. So this is very important, and we connected our application with the MongoDB connected. Okay, a little bit app.use. Here need to use some packages that we currently use. First one is the course, and for that you need to import course from course. Okay, and then we need to use express.json, and you need to also import express.url encoded, and make sure extended is equals to true. In the backend development, this is very important to work with the JSON system or JSON file, because backend API response are in mainly JSON. So in the JSON, if you want to add title, price, category, description, all of those things, you need to make sure you use express.json. This is the middleware you must have to use, and express.url encoded, extended is equals to true. If you want to work with the file system, or upload any data, or upload any files or images. So this is very important, and course is also very important. So I just, within a simple array, I just put all of the stuffs. This is a very simple way, modern and very clean way to use. This is the middlewares. Okay, so here I'm going to write middlewares. So this is for the middlewares, and this is for the connect with MongoDB. So this function is exported from db.js file, and we are connecting it, and .env to ensure that our env file this is working perfectly. Okay, so they are all very important, and this is our main routes. Okay, and this is for the port, and here we are listening to the port. Listen to port. Very simple. This is the very simplest way to work with the Node.js, MongoDB, and just Express in a single line of file, single file. Okay, so they are very, very important. Now we need to create our routes. Okay, so before that we need to create our model. So we need to go to the product.model. Here we need to just go import Mongoose from Mongoose, and here we need to create const product schema. We need to create a schema, and we need to call new mongoose dot, make sure you write perfectly, mongoose dot schema, and in the schema you can write whatever you want. Suppose you need image, and make sure your type is string, because this is very important. Product must have some images, and this is the thing that you need to have in your data model. So Mongoose is helping you to create a data model with your application to your MongoDB. Okay, so this is the thing we need to create our model for our application. This is for the product. You can add it for any other thing. For cart also you can make a model, but I'm going to use the local storage to work with the cart and the wish list. But so product information is very important. So in the product schema, the type is string, and make sure it is required is equals to true. This is very simple. If you use tab 9, just write tab and it gives you the suggestions. And you can write minimum length, maximum length, meme type. As you can see, meme type, you can use meme type JPEG or any other file which should work. I'm just removing it because I want anything to work with. Okay, this is the required field. And then we have a product title, and title, this type should be string, and required is true. Definitely it should have a title. Then we need to have a price field. I think price should be number, and required is true. Every product should have a price range. And then we can work with a category. Category also type should be string, and it is also required because it is very required field. Every product should have a category. And also you can add description here. If you want, you can add a description. Simple description should be fine, and the type should be string. Required is equals to false. There is no need for anything. We don't need that. Okay, you can write required is equals to false. We don't need that. This is up to you. Now what you can do, our schema creation is done. So here I'm gonna write const product. This is our main model, and we're gonna call mongoose dot model, and here, as you can see, I'm gonna name it and capital letter. First letter should be capital product, and because this is our model name, we're gonna call mongoose dot model and make a model with this product schema, because I want these fields in my product schema. First one is image, title, price, category, description, all of them. Also, you can have one more thing here. You can add timestamps is equals to true. It will add created date, updated date fields in this field. Okay, so these are all very, very important things that you must know. Okay, so our product schema creation is done. Now we need to export it. Export default product. Nice. So very easy and simple. And now we need to create our routes, and routes are very important also. So here I'm gonna import express. We need to call express from express, and here I'm going to const router is equals to express dot router. Okay, it will give you a simple awesome router that we can work with, and we are connected on the product routes.js file. In here you're going to create our routes for all endpoints in our application. Okay, all products, simple. And you need to write router.get. This is a get request, and first one I'm writing it get all products. So I need to get into this route, it will be response, request response. You can write it, but I'm writing it in different file called controllers. Okay, so if we go to the get all products route, this is the route you're going to get. So this is the way you will write get all products. If you get to this route, this type of routes, you need to call the function, and this is the function you're going to create into this controller here. Okay. Get products function. So I'm writing this documentation because for you it will be really, really helpful. So const get all products. Okay, so this should be asynchronous function and get all products. And as you can see, this is very simple. I'm not going to use this try catch, but you can use this thing. Okay, so here you need to just use something, and you need to import models. So const products is equals to await, because this is an asynchronous task. You need to call product, and this is the model. Import product model from our product model.js file, and this JS is very, very important. Once I'm telling you that this is very super important, and you need to import it on the top. Okay, so this function is to get all the products from the database MongoDB, and we are calling it from the product.find, and it will give you every single product from the database. And then you need to send or return all those data to the front end. So how can you do that? Response.json, here I'm gonna pass all the products. Simple. Or if there is any error, I'm gonna throw in simple error, and I'm gonna pass response.status code of 500.json, and here I'm gonna send a message fetching failed for this product. Simple. You can write anything with a custom message, whichever you write. Okay, if there is any error, we're gonna send this message, and if there is any error, I'm gonna pass error inside this error object. You're gonna have a message. This is the thing that you're gonna pass. So you can remove this console.log. Okay, so now our code looks really awesome, really fine, and we need to export that. And we need to export that. You can export it by this way. If you have multiple functions, you can export it like this way. Because we will have our multiple functions here, we need to export that like that to get all products from the database. But actually we don't have anything so that we can fetch. Okay, we need to export that and just pass it into product routes. So if you go to the get fetch all products, here you're gonna write get all products. This is the function that is coming from the product controller.js file. So as you can see, if we go to basis variant, so make sure you have a routes is very clean. As you can see, it says that get all product routes. So if you go to the product router.get and get all products, and it will give you all the products. Simple. And then we need to create one more router for post, and here I'm gonna write add this product. You need to write create a product. Okay, create product. If you just go to this route, it will give you a form so that you can create a product. But we still need to create that. Okay, so for that you need to go to the controller, because this is very important. So if you go to the controller system, and here you need to create some product here. Okay, so let me copy all of those things and paste here. So make sure you do it very awesomely with a professional way. So here it says create product. Okay, create a product, and I'm gonna call it instead of this, I'm gonna call it const product is equals to await. This is because this should be await. We need to call our product dot create. In the product.create function, if you write product.create and give you, and you will just pass everything that is coming from our client, which is request.body, your product will be created. But for me, the best approach should be different, which is const this way is equals to request.body. Okay, with the request.body, where you need to pass all things like images, product image, title, price, category, and description. So these are the name that you will pass from your front end or client React application or any Vue.js application or any application. You need to pass from the request.body, request.body.image, request.body.title, price, category, so on. So what are the things? If you go to the models, so this is the thing you need to pass: image, title, price. Make sure you have the same name as this, and category and description. And let me pass the same description name here, and go to our controller here, and this is the same thing. Okay, so these are the 5 fields: title, price, category, description, and these are the thing that you need to pass. So because in the MongoDB we're going to work with the collections, documents, all of the things. So in the product collection you're passing these objects here. Okay, whatever the user gives. Okay, and then it will be created, and you're gonna give the response to the client. Product is created, and this is the product that you will get. Okay, and then fail for this product, creation is failed for this product, and you can give 404 message. Okay, I think 500 should be okay for this. body, here you can pass image and title, category, price, description. So these are the 5 fields that you get, okay, in the object syntax. As you can see in the object, I'm passing up those things. So this is a very easy way to do. Create any product. Very simple way to do. So in this time I'm working with this. Also we need one more routes, okay, so that we can, and before that we need to import this create product, and this would be coming from product controller.js, as you can see. And we need one more route. You can just copy this and paste it here, and this should go to product/id by id. Okay, this function is not created yet, but I'm going to create it using the controller. So this is very simple and modern way. Just create your simple routes here, and just make sure you get here. This is going to be get, and make sure you use get request, because this should be get request from the database, and get the single product for the detail page, because in our application, as you can see, we also have a detail page as well. So we need to fetch product by its ID as well. And we're going to call this method so that it gives you all the things that you need, and it should go to the controller. So route is handling all the things. It is handling the route and which function would be run if you go to this URL. So that's why this model view architecture, this model view routes architecture is very useful there. In the view section, we don't have anything. We're going to handle all of our client stuff in React and Redux way. Okay, so this is the main stuff there. Single product. Okay, so you're going to name it const get product by ID, and this is also asynchronous. This is also asynchronous function, and here you need to pass an ID. And how you can get the ID? If you go to the product routes, as you can see, we have a dynamic ID here. So this is the thing that we're going to work on. And inside this try and catch, we need to get the ID. If request dot params, you're gonna check dot ID. If there is some ID, okay, then you can find it. Const product is equals to await product dot find by ID. As you can see, you can find a product by its ID. Request dot params dot ID. Very simple, and response to return this. Okay, so if there is any error, else you're gonna send some response. You're gonna response dot status code of, it should be 404 not found dot JSON, and you're gonna send a message here, product not found. Okay, so if there is any parameters, if you have an ID in the params, then you're going to fetch the product by its ID. Otherwise, you will write a response to JSON, response to status 404, no, it is not found. It means that it is not found. And in the JSON in the client, you are sending a message, product not found. Okay, and here you can pass in the catch block, you can pass this. Getting single product. And getting single product failed, and you'll pass an error message also. You can write get products by ID and save it, and just pass it here, and here get products by ID. Simple. And it is also coming from this controller. So this is very clean. Get all the product, and this route is create this new product, and this route is get product by ID. Okay, so don't worry about the code. I will obviously provide all of the things that you need. Okay, just watch all the tutorial properly so that you can understand. So this video is mainly, or this tutorial is mainly based on Redux Toolkit and Archive Query. You will learn a lot about the in-depth of Redux Toolkit. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys, and I'm making it feature rich so that you get a lot of insight on the things. Okay, so let me work with this. So I'm really apology for the background noise or background music, because people at night listening to the music. Okay, so this is ridiculous where I'm living here. Just don't worry about this. I will just catch up with the front end code. I make sure this environment is really clean and sound. Okay, and these are the things that you're going to need for the backend knowledge. So we need to test something. So testing is a very important part of our backend development. So make sure you have a Postman or similar application regarding this. Make sure you need to import your product routes. Okay. And here we need to add our routes. App.use. This is our root API. API/products. And here /API/product, here we need to pass our routes and we need to import product routes. So if we go to our product routes and here into export default router, and if we go to the server.js, here you can write product routes. So we need to import product routes from routes product routes. This should be the same name as product routes.js file. Okay, I think it should go to routes/product route.js. Okay, it should go to this file. Okay, so we have imported it perfectly. Now API/product, we need to just pass the same name, product routes. I think now it will work. Okay, let me run it again. Express.router. Express.router is not a function router. I think it should be this. Okay, now it's running. So I have made a simple mistake in the route file. It should be capital R. Okay, so I think now it should work. Product/add product. So we are going to localhost 5000/API/product/add product, and here we need to pass test title, and this should be images. You can name it images test. Then we will have our price, image, price, title, category, description. So if I just send it, okay, there is some error, /API/product. Okay, I forgot to use request and response here. That's why the information is not coming. Okay, so this was the problem. I didn't add, this is my big mistake here. I need to pass request.response all the time, otherwise it will never work. Request response. Okay, so it must have that. And here we can pass all the things like title, price, category, description, all the things. The first we should have our images. Okay, now I think it should work without any issues. Response.status code of 201. It means that it is created successfully. So this was the mistake here. I didn't add request.response. That's why it is not getting any data from our client. Now it works just fine. And let me add one more file. I just debugged it so that it works. As you can see in the test 3, this should work. And price should be $9.99. $9.99. And this is the category. Okay, so let me check it. Okay, as you can see, the test 3 and price $9.99. The category ID is _ID, and MongoDB gives you an ID which is very unique ID, and created it, updated all of the fields because we added a timestamp there. That's why. So we have the 5 fields that we need. Now we need to test get all products. Okay, so that we can check if the get request is working or not. So API/products/get all products. So if I hit this route and send a request, as you can see, we get the response as array of object. As you can see, this is the array, and we have 3 objects, product objects here. Okay, so it works, and we need to check by ID. As you can, product/ID. So you need to go /product/product/ID, and we need to pass an ID. So this should be the ID, and it will give you the product 3 here. Let me check. Okay, so it works without any issue. So all of the thing is working. For our detail page is done. The backend for our detail page to get all the page into our front end, get the product by its ID in the detail page also done, and creating product is also done. So our backend is almost complete without any issues. If any features we need to implement, we can implement after we complete all the playlist videos or all the front end part. Okay, all the logics of the front end is very important, and I'm going to give you a lot of time to understand all the front end code, because backend is pretty easy in MERN stack, but front end is a lot of complicated thing. We need to understand most of the thing and the core of JavaScript in front end. So that's why the front end is very important. So that's why I have implemented all the backend code in just one video, so that you can understand it more perfectly in a single video. You get all the full backend code. If you enjoyed this video a lot, so till then, take care, say bye bye. I'll see you in the next video.